We're following delight with humor because humor is very different. It's sort of the ability to lighten up and to laugh and have fun. And for many women, conception at 12 weeks wasn't a fun time, and their humor really depressed. And so in the conception to 12 weeks, Mothers-to-Be Pregnancy Academy, we talked about the need to lighten up, that women can become a black hole of negative, sick, uncomfortable energy, not because they intend to, but because it is so dramatic to our bodies to suddenly be impregnated and have this other being growing inside at such a rapid rate that their metabolic waste is thrown off into our system, and we have to throw that off. We are cracking the cosmic egg. So between conception in 12 weeks, a lot of us as women really lose our humor. So humor then becomes just lighten up. How do you change the scene? How do you do something so that you just take care of yourself tenderly? Or how do you explain that to your baby's father to just take care of? How do you lighten up between conception and 12 weeks in terms of humor? Between 12 and 24 weeks, sometimes our humor begins to return, and that's nice. We begin to feel a little bit more like ourselves, but we're not quite like ourselves until we begin to feel the baby move, which is so curious because we have this child inside us. We know we do, but even we can't feel it move. So by the time we feel our baby move, which is sometime between 18 and 22 weeks pregnant, we've been pregnant for almost 5 months. We have this wait and see feelings about ourselves, and that can sometimes curb our humor. But by the time we get to 24 weeks and our uterus is at our navel, we can certainly feel where the baby's moving, and we can begin to feel the bumps against the wall of our belly and feel something. And then by 32 weeks, we're more likely to know where the baby's kicking, whether it's turning around inside us. The baby becomes really an entity. But what happens is we become both more like ourselves again during this golden phase, which is a reminder that we will eventually become more like ourselves again after the birth and after our baby's grown. And we're also developing a baby brain, which means that we're focusing more on the baby, we're focusing more on the birth, we're focusing more on being a mother after the birth. We have this humor that is changing and growing. We have our natural sense of humor, our natural ability to change heavy situations into lighter ones, but we also are beginning to include this child in our sense of humor. And this is an amazing thing. We're not going to do one on a sense of humor with your partner, a sense of humor with your baby. We just want you to know that humor comes to the foreground more easily. It bubbles up more easily between 24 and 36 weeks. It begins to subdue again between 36 weeks, and the birth isn't always there during the birth and might not be there for a period of time after the birth. But if you know the skill is not to be ha-ha humorful, but it's sometimes to just lighten up, change the situation so that you just don't feel so heavy, that is humor.